everyone, I'm Brooklyn Kaye. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing this fun Sally Stitches Nightmare Before Christmas look. I am so excited to be doing this look for you guys today. I even body painted, and this is my first attempt, so don't judge me too hard on it, but I hope you guys all enjoy this video. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do so you can see more Halloween looks and, well, normal makeup looks as well. And with no further ado, let's get into the video. Don't worry you guys, I'm not naked. I have a tube top on because we will be body painting. First up, I am using the e.l.f. Putty Primer to help reduce staining. Next up, I am taking the Makeup Revolution White Foundation. We will be using a different technique for this face paint. So as you can see, I'm just popping that onto a palette. Now I'm taking the Melt Muerte palette and I'm taking that nice green shade and I am scraping it with the back of my brush. This is how we are going to create our own face paint. I used this method because I felt like I would get a lot more product this way. So I'm just going back and forth between the two, getting more shadow when I feel like it gets too light, and then adding more foundation when I want more. Now you can see I'm testing out the paint, making sure it is the right color, making sure it's not too blue or too green. And as you can see, it's going a long way. That foundation is a full coverage white foundation, so we are getting a lot of coverage there. Now I'm going over the face paint with a sponge just to ensure that it has a smoother appearance so it's not too chunky. Building up a second layer to ensure that it is completely covered and there's no trace of my skin peeking through. Now I'm taking the white and just adding some nice light in there just so we don't look so one-dimensional with just the blue. Then patting that out with the sponge. Taking some RCMA white translucent powder. This is just going to help set the under eye. I'm using sort of a baking mechanism for this. Putting the powder all over the face as well, just to help with blending in the future with the other things we put onto the face. Moving on to brows, I am taking the No Promises Super Shock Shadow by ColourPop. This has a nice red burgundy shade just to make the eyebrows match my hair and look a little more Sally-like. Then I decided the ColourPop shadow wasn't really working for me, so I went in with the burgundy shade from the Melt Muerte palette and continued the brows from there. Onto the eyes, I decided to use the Nikkie Tutorials and Beauty Bay eyeshadow palette, and I dipped into the shade Plot Twist, which is a nice cornflower blue shade. Now to deepen the crease, I'm going in with this teal shade from the NYX Ultimate Brights palette, and I am making a nice winged out shape because we will be cutting the crease later. Hi everyone, so I'm going back in on the eye. I wanted to just talk through this part so I could kind of explain it a little better. Basically, there was way too much product. It was getting very heavy on the eye and just looking very like thick. So I cleared it off as much as I could. I didn't want to get too close on the eyes because we do have a beautiful blend there. And so now I'm just going in with the bare white and then I'm gonna pack on that yellow from the Nikkie Tutorials palette. That's about as thick as I can get it, and I'm just gonna blend it out with my finger just to make sure it's a little smoother so when we go over it with the yellow, it's not going to have any patchy spaces. Now I am currently packing on the yellow with a small fluffy brush, and then I'm going in with a more detailed brush just to get around the edges and make sure that there is not too much overlap, but to make sure it is all saturated. Next up, I am mixing 2 liquid lipsticks, and I'm just making a nice burgundy shade so we can cut the crease to make it look like there is a nice edge there. I mixed this orange shade with white paint to create an orange paint and used it to draw polka dots onto my eye to match the patches on Sally's dress. Now for this eye, I already sketched out where I want the cut crease, and we are going to be doing a completely different design. On this one, I'm using the pink swirled pattern from her dress, going into the cut crease with a teal face paint shade just to create some nice contrast. I am going into some black face paint, and I am drawing the swirls and replicating the same pattern that is on the dress. Dipping back into the black face paint, I am using it to draw stitches onto the eye to make it look like the cut creases have been stitched on. Moving on to contouring the face, I'm taking that same shade that I used to mix with the foundation to contour, and I'm just taking it on a fluffy brush, blending it into the hollows of my cheeks. I'm also putting that color underneath my eyes to give them a rounder appearance, and also contouring my nose. Going into my Wolf face paints palette, I am mixing the black and the blue to make Sally's stitches and drawing them on either side of the mouth, and then going in with the mixture of straight lines and crossed lines. To take a break from painting, I'm going in with a nice red lip. Both the lip liner and the lipstick are from YSL, and I am lining my lips and then applying the lipstick just to create that nice red pout that Sally has. Now taking this light shimmery shade, I'm using this to highlight the high points of Sally's face and give her a nice glam look. Then I went ahead and applied the Kiss Muse lashes to my eyes to give a nice doll-like effect. Going into body painting. This is my first ever attempt at body painting, so some of it went great, some of it not so great. So the first shade I am taking from Sally's dress is this yellow color from my Wolf palette, which didn't end up working out too great, so I ended up taking a yellow Mehron Paradise Paint and going over it. But basically, Sally's dress is in a V shape, so I am drawing the first part of the sleeve. My camera overheated shortly after this, so while I was waiting, I decided to go in on the other side with the pink, which I used the exact same method that I used with the yellow, and then I also drew on Sally's stitching choker as well. I'm just taking a makeup wipe and I'm cleaning up the sides to make the sleeves look a little bit sharper. I'm going in with some black face paint and just replicating the swirls that we did on the eyes. Basically same thing, but on a bigger scale. And let me just say, these swirls are a lot harder to draw with a paintbrush than they look. I feel like with a pen or something, they're a lot easier to draw, but wow, this took some work. Since you had seen me draw the colors on before and saw the technique I used, I decided to do it off camera, so I added a teal sleeve and a yellow sleeve, and then I also decided to add the stitching on there. And right now I am adding the lower neck stitching because I realized Sally has 2 seams on her neck, so I decided to draw that on there. And I'm just using the same colors I used as before, just that darkish blue with the black paint, and then using the line and X's stitching. Okay everyone, so this is the final look with my hair straight. Here is the top. I will be photographing from here up. This is the final look. I am so thrilled with how it came out. I love the eyes. I felt like this was a really cool way to make Sally look a little more glam. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!